late winter.
You're clashing. Look at red and orange.
I'm like a traffic cone.
You're like grumpy old man.
Well, anyway, every late winter we start to get the van travel itch. And ever since we've had the van, it's about this time every year, February, March, that we start to think about changes that need to be done in the van, or we'd like to have done after living in it for a year or traveling in it for a year. And we've come up with some things that we think we want to work on. So follow along with us. We're going to kind of go through our list of the things that we think are working well for us in the van, and then we'll go through some of the things that we want to change.
Okay.
Not drastic. I don't feel like doing major construction again this spring.
Well, I think you're going to end up doing a little bit more construction than you think you are. So that will be interesting to see. But you built this thing, so I don't know. I don't know if we really needed to be doing what we're doing. It's not out of necessity, but it would be maybe just a little bit more comfortable. Are you going to write down?
Oh, I'm supposed to be writing things down?
Oh, you need to do the film, so I guess I need to write.
Oh,
So
it's okay.
put it right here.
So we're at the back end of the van. There's our garage, and these are our beds. And one of the things that we've been fighting is that we have custom size mattresses, and we have a custom size fitted sheet, but the rest of our bedding is like normal size.
By 9. So if you, I mean, this is a 6-inch mattress. I mean, it is that. But by the time you get blankets on, it becomes almost 9 inches. But, you know, the normal twin is 39 inches wide. And we feel like the blankets are just too wide for us. There's a lot of blanket underneath.
A lot
our
of tuckage
mattresses
going on.
Yeah, and it gets to be a little annoying. So we thought maybe it might make sense to shorten some of these blankets that are regular twin. We did the custom mattress pad and we did the custom fitted sheet from the same company we got the mattress from. But the blankets and the comforter are like $250 a piece. I've got a sewing machine. I'm not the best sewer. You've seen this in the past. I don't like to sew anymore. It tries me every time. But when it comes down to saving money, I'm all about that. So we might end up doing that. But as I'm sitting here doing the math, I mean, if it's normally 39, we're pretty much at 39 right now. If you're talking about both sides and then you in there, it's almost like it's the right width to make it feel like a real bed. For mine, I'm very short compared to JK, so we shortened this bed mattress. That's why it's custom, really. It's a custom mattress because it's shorter here, longer here, and shorter this way. They're 25. I think mine's 75 and yours is 78 or something like that. I'm only 65 inches tall, so for mine, the length ends up being the biggest issue. I'm wondering if these big blankets are longer or something, because
I bet you they're like you were saying before, they're bedspreads.
maybe
And bedspreads
come down a little bit
come
longer.
down a lot longer.
Or it's just the bulk of them that makes them so heavy, so cumbersome. But mine is the one that could be shortened for sure, because I end up with a big hump at the end when I start tucking underneath at the end. That and then I have to sit on it because that's at the end of the bed where we sit.
Right.
So we have to think about this.
Oops. We have the batteries shut off or put to bed, so there's no power, no lights in here, but that's okay.
So my bed is only 68 inches. No wonder I feel like I don't have enough room. So when I sleep, I put my pillow way back on the door to give me a little bit more length. So that's interesting. 68. 25 by 68 is my bed. And yours, I'm pretty darn sure yours is 78. Yep. Yours is 25 by 78. So yours, I don't think your bedding needs to be adjusted. I know it drives you nuts, but I don't know what else to do. Because you want to be covered, don't you? Well, don't you? Mine is the biggest issue because it's too long.
Well, the one thing we've been talking about is we built in a, you call it a nightstand. It's kind of like a box between our beds. And we built it long enough to accommodate an old refrigerator slide, and we put our water jug on there, our bluey.
It's right down in here.
Down in there, and we also had a box for dirty laundry, and so we split it and hinged it so we could kind of lift up the lid a little bit and throw our dirty laundry in there. We also have a mount for our lagoon table, but as you can see, there's really not enough knee space and leg space between us to comfortably sit and use the table. And to do that, we're thinking about cutting that box down in length, getting rid of the slide underneath there, and actually just putting just the bluey storage underneath there, and taking out the laundry box.
Taking out the hinge.
And taking out the hinge.
Because look at how the bedding gets in the way all the time.
That's the issue. So it didn't work as well as we hoped. I mean, it works, but it's a pain in the butt.
Now I have to unmake the bed to shut the box door. So the bluey is 12 by 12 by 16. So the length of it is 16?
It's 12 by 12, and it's 16 high.
Oh, high. Okay. It's
Oh,
only
high.
12 inches?
Yep.
Wow. That would gain a lot of leg room. So it would come all the way back to here. Can you see me back here?
I can. And then that gives all that extra space.
So if you still
Wow.
did the mount back there, I think we still would need a longer table.
Yeah, so that's something that we can look into making. That's no big deal.
That would be really nice to have a longer table because when we go to work and stuff back here, you know, I've got my laptop. Well, we both would have some sort of computer thing, whether I have the iPad and then the laptop. We're both trying to function on here, and it's not enough room, not enough knee room. So I'm feeling trapped a little bit because I don't have any space to move. I'm usually on the inside, so I'm stuck there.
I think that will make a huge difference.
And then I can get to the back stuff easier. We
Right.
can both get to the back, as I can't reach. And then trying to get out of bed, you're halfway down my bed length already when we're here. So trying to get out is I mean, it's not that big, but it's a little bit of a challenge when you're used to getting out like right here
Sure.
where the box is. So I don't know, just little things like that. So you don't think that's going to be a big deal to shorten that?
No.
Cut that down
I
and
don't
make it
think so.
different. Well, we added this step, so now that means you're going to have to lengthen the step too. And the step is for a short me who needs, you know, to be up a little higher.
Well, that's not an issue either. I made that in like half an hour, so.
So just some center aisle adjustments here, which we kind of thought we might have to do. We've got, you made a box back here that we put a storage in, and there's one in the front. And I'm a little OCD. Nothing's really matching there, so I want to push these bags all the way down towards the front and get rid of that box
Yep.
and get rid of that box.
Right.
And that will open this up to be equal on the ends here.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think it would be kind of cool to do a box or a cubby hole system all the way across here, so that there's two facing you in the middle, and then the far corners, because you can't get to them because of the bags, they would show up on the back side of the van.
Be open to the back side.
Yep. So, you know, things that are outdoorsy, you know, things
Right.
that are recovery straps and picnic table covers and all that kind of stuff that are underneath my bed right now. We end up going underneath my bed a lot. And that's another issue that we've been dealing with.
So, yeah, that back section is a lot bigger, a lot longer than I thought. I was for some reason thinking it was just a short little section. It's almost half and half. So we're thinking about joining these two into one piece, and then having just one section open up. That would also help support that end of the mattress when we're lifting.
Because what's happening now is when I go to lift this up, because we usually put our extra water gallons or canned water down here, dog food, things like that, I'll lift this up, but then my mattress bends, like right here.
Sure.
And I just think long term that that's going to be an issue. Even though we spin our mattresses and stuff, I still think that might be something long term that could be an issue. So we're going to try to, I don't know how you're going to do that with that center support in there.
Well, I'm going to have to
That's on each side.
I'm going to have to either move the center support or come up with some way of doing that. We'll have to see. I mean, worst case scenario, I got to buy another piece of wood and cut one full sheet. Let's see, we do have tons of storage underneath Kim's side of the bed. There's really nothing underneath there. Where on my side, it's all electronics and the batteries and electrical stuff. So
You have in your electrical area, you've got a tool rack.
tool bag. Yeah.
And then there's some storage off the back here. There's a drawer, and then there's a place for our camp stove. And the drawer is nice to have. I think it would be nice to get some of this stuff out of here, you know, as we try to figure out what we are not using after a couple of years in here. We really don't use our camp chairs. Isn't that weird? We end up with places that have picnic tables more often than not, and we just don't use them. So I think if we can readjust what's down here, like all the recovery gear is right in here. The chairs come down here this length. They're all custom for these things that we knew we were going to store in here. So we'd have to readjust the bottom here to, you know, accommodate maybe more blueies for more water, so we can, you know, not have to fill up as often or something like that. While we're here, take a look at all the extra bedding. This is only one sheet and one small quilt.
Right.
You add the big comforter on top of that and another blanket that I usually have, and you're talking about quite the mound underneath there.
That's a wad of material, and it makes it harder to lift the bed up.
The one thought I had, seamstresses, is to kind of create like a day bed type thing, where I put a cut through there so that I can kind of eliminate some of that corner. I don't know. It would almost have to be like at almost like an envelope, like at an angle or something like that. I don't know.
Plus, right behind you is a mound of stuff for colder weather.
Yep.
That it'd be nice to have some sort of a tech blanket or something that's not as bulky and
Just as warm.
that we could fold up and store away in one of the overheads or in the back or whatever, because by the time you get all those things folded up, and our blankets and our pillows and then these other extra blankets and
It's
the
too
dog
much.
stuff, and it's just that's when
Too
it
much
starts
bedding.
to get claustrophobic in here. We're going to trying to streamline everything and make it a lot more comfortable, and it's not so, I don't know, it just adds a lot of tension when you're traveling. We're talking about bluey storage. The other thought that I had was, like, in this front section here, that might be a good place to put, some sort of built-in water storage, or we've talked about some sort of a water heater or something like that. I don't know if that would actually be safe or work in there, but or even an RO system for our water, so we can have filtered water and just tap through the side of that cabinet into the sink area. And
Then we can get water anywhere.
yeah, that would be very convenient. They make some smaller, more compact water filtration systems now that might work, but I'm not sure if it's going to be cost prohibitive or not. But I mean, if we're getting this all opened up from what we normally store in here and using some other areas, that might be a kind of a cool thing.
All right, so let's lift this side up, your side.
See, it's a lot easier when it's one piece, and this is a longer mattress.
So you don't have, oh yeah, you do. So down there is the drawer. So he's got one little piece of wood there that's covered by the insul or the ventilation piece underneath our mattresses. But down in here is an empty hole. We've got the tool case down there. Not a lot of room in here whatsoever. But maybe down in there, down in this black hole.
Yes.
One way to eliminate blankets.
Is moved to Florida?
No.
Oh. Well, they get snow there anyway.
Let's get a heater.
Like one of those Wabasso or one of the other brands.
Well, we wouldn't be able to do diesel because we're gasoline.
Yeah.
So I've seen some online, these Espar gasoline heaters.
Oh, sure.
And I'm wondering if we couldn't put it there.
Well, when you look at it from this standpoint, I mean, obviously we've got a few things that are down in there, but I think that would be plenty of room to have that heater. Plus, if we're cutting back on the center console between the beds,
We just might not be able to cut it back to 12 inches.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest concern about a heater is we have two big dogs. We can't put the heater underneath the front seat like most people do because the dogs would lay right in front of it and we wouldn't get any heat.
That might be a way of doing it, and elevating the heat exhaust up a little bit higher, just enough to clear the tops of them when they're laying down.
The other thought that I had is right over your shoulder. And yes, I know I love our air conditioning, but don't they have a 12-volt AC with heat?
They do, but I think we looked into that, and there was something that somebody talked us out of. I don't know if it was when we were in the early stages talking about getting a, whatever they're called,
Heat pump.
Mini heat pump, mini split.
The biggest thing that we end up doing is if we want to do a winter getaway, like right now, let's go to Florida. Wouldn't that be fun? There's no campgrounds anywhere that are open for us to plug in in the Midwest. So we have to go without heat until we get to a warm enough place where there's a campground open. So that's when it would be really nice to be able to still, like the upper Midwest right now hardly has any snow. It'd be great traveling and camping. So, just even traveling, going sightseeing or whatever this time of year, but there's no electrical anywhere to hook up to. So that's the times where we wish we had some heat in here. A little bit of heat.
One other area that needs some attention is this area up in here. We do have a little custom-made book caddy that's fun and nice, but if we're going to be putting some cabinets over in the back, that could probably end up being our bookcase area. This box up here is where our
Spices and coffee is.
Spices and coffee, and I think
that works well.
That works pretty good. What we're thinking about doing is, since this fan is kind of in the way, if we move the book caddy and move the fan, because there's L-track that runs all the way down to the dreaded foam bubble there that we could remount the fan, and that would help direct air down when the dogs are traveling or on us up in front. And as you know, these fans are very maneuverable, so we could fold it up and tuck it up out of the way so it wouldn't hit our heads coming in and out of the van.
We usually will hang our dish towels and dish rags and hand towels and whatever here, and so you can see how close it would be to the fan. That just doesn't seem to work. I do like it here so that when I'm hot, I just turn it down my way and I'm pretty darn comfortable. I do like that. So that is something I forgot about. But more often than not, it's on the dogs.
Right.
I sacrifice my comfort for our pups.
And speaking of nice warmer weather, that brings the bugs out, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the bonus of traveling in the cooler weather. There's no bugs, which I totally dig. I do get almost allergic reaction to bug bites, so I am inside the van a lot, and it's frustrating because I want to be outside, but they just love me, and then I just swell up and get huge welts, and then I can't leave them alone and all of that. So we have been eyeing the bug walls for quite a few years. They're very pricey. We would like to be able to open the slider on a nice day, let the dogs, kind of look outside. I do worry about them getting ticks and all that kind of stuff too. So sometimes it'd just be nice to let them be in here where they feel safe and
sniff the air.
Yeah, and then in the back, it'd be nice to open up our back doors and have some fresh air coming through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It would just be kind of a neat thing. And I've heard those bug walls in the back especially are almost like an insulation, kind of keep it a little bit warmer in here.
Yeah, because those doors can get awful cold when it's freezing outside. So, and that just radiates the cold in. So you're battling the radiated cold or the radiated heat, actually, and trying to keep up with the heater or the AC unit. So that might eliminate or help a little bit. I know there is some insulation in the door panels, but around the framework, I don't think there is.
What is this?
Your idea.
Oh, boing. I would like it to be a little cozy in here, and that back door does not give me a cozy vibe.
Right. Looks like an ambulance or something.
It just doesn't look cozy. And
even though we have our pine and our pineapples that light up, but
it's the pineapple princess.
It'd be nice to add a little warmth or some sort of wood tones or.
So if we have a cabinet across here, that's a wood tone, let's say.
Right.
You like my pointer?
Yes.
And then these black things. My pointer just collapsed.
That happens to me all the time.
If we can, I've seen some people do like a wood piece in here.
Yeah.
Like a plank kind of thing.
Sure.
Not just one piece. I would want it to look decorative.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could maybe do something on there. We've got our magnets up there because that's the only place they really stick in here. But something to cozy this up, whether it's white or something, but not black.
Right.
And not just plastic like that is. So that is something else that I would like to do someday.
That would be easily accomplished.
The other thought is we've got the cabinet coming across here. And then if we did, because we need to support that cabinet in the middle, if we did a little shelving thing here for cutesies. But then we worry about weight because we're talking about more weight here. So I don't know. That would be kind of fun to put plants on. And do different things there. So that could be kind of a fun remodel in the back end of our van to make it a little bit more cozy.
Sure.
I'm after the cozy in here. It's a little bit hard because we don't want it to look ultra masculine. We don't want it to look ultra feminine. We're just kind of trying to find that balance. And the bags are very masculine. The orange is the fun factor. The walls are neutral. So now how can we bring in some warmth and some coziness to our van? That's what we're kind of thinking about now.
So if you have any suggestions or bright ideas or comments on how
We're nuts.
on how you've cozied up your van, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. We're searching for some ideas, so we appreciate you watching and taking interest in this. And please leave your comments and likes. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're so close to hitting our 1,000 subscriber mark, and we need you to help us do that. And that way we can continue to grow our little van camping channel.
You know, the goal is to actually get monetized at some point. It's not just the 1,000 subscribers that we're after, but we need watch hours too. So
Right.
you can go back and binge watch some things.
Sure.
Go and live vicariously through some of our travels in the past. We might just do that too, just to kind of get our mojo going for maybe a spring trip.
Or just, have our videos playing in the background of your phone and just kind of, check in every once in a while and click on a new video and just let that one run for an hour or so. That'll help.
They tell us not to beg for this kind of stuff, but hey,
We're so close. And every time we start to inch up there, then we lose one.
Or two
subscribers.
And then we gain a couple.
And then we gain a couple. And it was like, oh, for Pete's sakes, we would have been at 2,000 by now if those people had... I don't understand what their problem was.
I don't understand YouTube. We're learning the hard way.
Yep. So anyway, again, thank you very much. And we'll keep you updated as these projects unfold. So we'll be watching for that. In the meantime, try to stay warm wherever you are. And remember, any day in the van.
It's a good day.
And it's chilly. Let's go inside.